Welcome to the Odd Frog Chop Shop, your one-stop podcast for all things toy, design, collectible, comic book, video game, movies, pop culture, and more. And now please welcome your hosts, Kelly Greenwood and Eddie Hermosillo.
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Odd Frog Chop Shop, where we try to talk pop culture, give you updates on what's been going on here at Odd Frog Entertainment. And what's going on, guys? How you been?
Well, first and foremost, looks like Instagram is having trouble connecting. So
let's take a look.
If anybody sees us on there, jump over to the YouTube channel.
You guys go ahead. I'll figure it out right now.
Okay.
Don't waste your time trying to listen to this over there on Instagram.
But to answer your question, Eddie, doing pretty good. It's been a while since we've been on here, so it's
we used to keep it to like every other Sunday, but we've all been quite busy, and we want to share some updates and let you guys know what's been going on behind the scenes with the Bandito, with the Chop Shop, and some new acquisitions, you could say, we've kind of came across, and some very we can't specify who just yet, but some very interesting licensing deals going on back here, and we're securing distribution, even more distribution. So
a lot of gears turning in the background.
Yep.
A lot of gears.
How about you, Dead Man? How you been?
I've been super busy. As you guys all know, I'm a carpenter, and we've been doing a demo for a week, and I am sore everywhere. I'm getting way too old for this. It's still a lot of fun, but it's starting to hurt my body.
Yeah,
that's why we're here trying to make toys instead.
Need to invest in a new board stretcher, right?
No, it's funny. It's funny. People make jokes about that. There is a board stretcher. It doesn't stretch it. It doesn't make it longer. It'll bend it the other way. People use them for building decks and stuff because a lot of times you get a board that's like just shaped like a banana.
Welcome, Austin. Welcome.
What's up, Austin?
What about you, Kelly?
Oh, man, same old thing. Just super, super busy. Dialing in these victims' heads, working with Dead Man.
Those are looking great, by the way.
Thank you. Great. Thank you. Yeah, we're pretty much good. Like I had to create a grommet system, basically. I call them a grommet, but they're basically a head peg adapter. And,
do I have some in here? I haven't even opened this.
Yeah, you have the new ones in there. And
unboxing live.
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds fun. All right, copy. Yeah. Let's go back to here.
So for those of you who are familiar or unfamiliar with these victim heads, they're an idea.
Oh, we are live.
That
I think I got it.
Deadly came up with.
Deadly.
I mean, Deadly. Dead Man. Dead Man 1 here came up with. Victim heads for your various characters, which allow you to
there they are.
Storylines and allow you to make victims out of your other characters.
I'm gonna try.
We've seen some pretty good paint jobs out there too.
Yeah, Zilla did a pretty good job on those.
Oh, there's so many more coming. There's a customizer out there named Abby normally that I cannot wait to see how she paints them. She is super good.
Yeah, so these victim heads right now, they're just like generic male and female heads, but I guess David Vonner has joined us here at Odd Frog Entertainment, and he's kind of project manager, and he's been helping us. We've been using some of his connections, picking his brain, and so we're evolving a lot of our original ideas with him now leading the way. So, that includes the Bandito and some very interesting licensing deals we have going on with, you might see coming out of left field, but they're going to be very interesting. We'll, acquire like 112 scale licenses for some things, and we'll be dabbling in the 112 world with stuff like that, and starting with the Bandito and special treatment to the car, the customization of the car, and a lot of cool things coming. I wish I could say more, but we're getting close. Be hearing some some updates from these contracts and numbers, and hopefully we'll be signing dotted lines and can finally share who we're trying to license with, which is
the little teaser I'll give with one of the licensing deals of about 3 to 4. We have 3 pretty solid right now that looks like they're moving forward, and then another 1 or 2 that we're working on behind the scenes. But if you would have told me as a metalhead when I was a kid that I'd be working with some of the people we're working with right now, my head would have exploded. So like, I think some of you guys are going to be really shocked and surprised when you see what Vonner's been able to bring to the table as far as his connections and the people in the industry, multiple industries that he works with. And I mean, it's a really exciting time. A lot is happening, and the right people are paying attention. So it's been really, really fun this past few months. It's just difficult not to be able to tell anybody anything because it really is exciting. But we've learned our lesson about that long time ago. So yeah, mum's the word. But with Vonner comes the ability to really kind of kick into high gear a lot of the ideas we've had, new ideas that he's brought to the table. One of them is we're starting a radio station. And basically what this is about, the vision of this radio station, which is going to be Howlin' Jim Jackson's 1.12 FM Bandito radio. It's a long title, but it's cartoony and it's fun. And that's really what it is, right? It's a way for people that do customization and toy photography to turn something on in the background and just be a little more involved with that world where, we're going to be doing news clips from the comic book. So things that are happening in the comic book, you'll hear come over the radio as far as news clips and stuff like that. Action Figure Addict, as far as right now, we are still on track for the end of summer 2025. We're really shooting to get in before the Chinese New Year. Obviously, that always affects things because it's basically a month of downtime where we can't get anything produced. But right now, we're on the targets that we've projected for ourselves. But yeah, anything could change. But it would be, if we did have to delay, it would be a matter of a month or two, not like a year or something. But I'm really hoping we can stay on
especially with these distributor agreements we have going on via these licensing deals. We have some big distributors who are willing to jump on board. They've talked with David Vonner. Yeah, they've talked with David Vonner. Oh, okay. And we're just waiting for.
I missed that. What did it say?
Austin said that he went to school for broadcasting and production. That's really cool, Austin. Like, I still listen to these old radio shows like The Shadow and stuff like that. And one of the things we're going to do is also at midnight, we're going to have Myra's Morgue of Midnight Madness, where we're taking a lot of these public domain old radio shows that are free for us to use, and we're going to edit them. And fantastic. We're going to edit them so that they're not, weekly series. They're just one show. We've got one ready to go. And you're going to be able to find us on Spotify, of course, here on YouTube and all the other little broadcasting platforms. But yeah, we just think of it as a way to like further get into the world of photography and toys and customizing. If you're working late in your garage one night, you turn on Bandito radio and it's all toys, and everything that's advertised is relating to the comic book. It's a cartoon world based around what we're building here.
But we're also looking to team up with some artists that may want to put their music out there,
Actually, great point, Mikey. We actually have
actually play
5. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Mikey.
No, you're good.
It'll be an actual radio station too. We've got 5 artists that have agreed to come on board. Eddie, you got some hip hop guys coming on, and so does Vonner. Deadly Dioramas, who's working with us as part of the team now, has got some musical connections. So
yeah, we want to make a big spectrum, rock, hip hop, jazz, polka. I don't care. Bring it.
Put it in a context like Bandito Radio. Basically, what we're trying to do is like connect it. Bring how would you say, various, bring your various senses into the world of Odd Frog and the Bandito. So Bandito Radio, essentially, you'll be able to listen to it when you purchase your Bandito, and then you'll be able to, scan a code or goes directly to the web, to Spotify or to the 112 FM, wherever we have it. and you'll be able to, again, to listen to various segments. We'll have like, Jim Jackson will be the one that's like in the beginning, and he's like, like various radio stations have segments and various shows, various DJs. That's what we're trying to go for, different like genres and different segments and news. Like Kelly was saying, we'll probably incorporate some like toy news world and then actual news that's going on in the comic book, like story wise, help you be immersed in the world.
It just expands the world even more, Should I play the little clip?
Yeah, just real quick before you do that, Mikey. Deadman, speaking of news, can we talk about anything about part of that radio station of something you've put together with some news?
Oh, is that more than just a mock-up? I thought that was just a mock-up. We were talking about it.
As your friend.
Maybe not at the moment.
Maybe not yet. Okay.
There's been an issue that has arose in that, and it might not work out because of various contracts being signed before he had a chance to do anything.
Totally understand that.
If he had been able to get something done before then, we'd be able to talk about it right now. But he wasn't able to get anything done before some things have happened for him. So I don't want to.
Well, good for him then, if that's the case. So that's
I mean, it might also still work out because there was a verbal contract signed. I did record it. I might be able to throw it into space.
That's funny. So, okay, Mikey, let's give people a little bit of you might have seen hints already, but let's give people a taste.
Yeah, Vonner's been dropping various stories and clips. Vonner's really, but listen, check it out.
And you are back with Howlin' Jim right here on Bandito Radio 1.12 on your FM dial. Ow! The holiday season is coming up fast, baby, and Howlin' Jim knows just what marvelous, merry, last-minute movers and shakers need to make that terrific top toy fanatic in your life as happy as a kid in a store, baby. What you need is the Bandito action vehicle. 76 pieces of injection-molded magnificence. Designed to drive right into the heart of your favorite 112 scale fortune seeker. So race out to your favorite toy distributor and build yourself a holiday basket of badass with the 112 scale Bandito action vehicle. Yow!
I can't tell y'all how fun this is to do, by the way, like building these things.
I can tell you how fun it is because I did a mock-up news interruption for Kelly. I don't know if you shared it with these guys.
No,
but
I haven't heard it yet.
Oh no, but we can play that on the next one too. But I love that. And that's
that was actually an AI voice that I just pitch controlled and changed up to make sure it didn't sound AI. It actually came out pretty good. There's like breathing involved and everything, where the guy's like talking too fast that he had to breathe in the middle of it. I know you're a voice actor.
I'm biased, yes.
I know you're a voice actor, but I was doing it late at night. My wife was asleep.
No, it's fine, I guess.
So that was a little sneak peek of like a radio ad for the Bandito on Bandito Radio. Just something we threw together. Mikey there was voice for that. So, it's something we're trying to definitely evolve. And like Kelly was mentioning, we have we're looking for, independent artists who just want to showcase their music and potentially create streams of revenue. This is like an ever evolving idea. So, I think we have something here that's
going to be a lot of fun.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're open to suggestions too. So
absolutely. Action Figure Addict says, what other vehicles would you guys be interested in making in the future? Well, I mean, we had a van, a really badass van. We have a van.
You still have a van.
We still have a van. Ours is pretty awesome. We've had it since we had the Bandito, realistically. So, certainly that would be cool. We're just staying away from it right now because there's been enough crossover with the 112 vehicles and that other company and stuff. So kind of van on hold. But, really what we're looking at right now is anything with photographic opportunity. So, vehicles that can really exploit toy photography is probably what we're going to go to next. And I don't want to say too much about that just because.
But then again, we are staying in our own lane, like various other companies have gone military, other companies are going, various which ways. We want to stay with our initial idea of classic customization, street cars, we don't want to we don't want to particularly tie it to any one character or anything like that. We pitched this idea over 2.5 years ago of creating customizable high-end detailed vehicles. And, we talked to various companies in the industry, and, some of them liked our ideas and kind of, ran with their own versions of it. And, we have proof and evidence of, conversations, and it's been a wild ride, but that's
okay. Yeah. Go ahead, Eddie. Sorry.
It's been a wild ride. We got quotes from companies, and then it's things didn't work out, but other ideas, that right there, what Austin is mentioning, cop cars and stuff like that, but in our same aesthetic, in our same time frame,
world.
Right, in our same world. Like, we're not gonna have a classic car, and then you'll have like a newer model police car. Like, if we're trying to come out with essentially action vehicles are meant to be like action figures, right?
That's
so
right.
We want to have characters. The vehicle itself is essentially a character. So if you have a character based in like the 60s and 70s, you want another vehicle based in the same era to kind of balance that. So
112 Chop Shop is in the late 60s and early 70s, if you guys didn't catch that.
Yeah, so if you're thinking like police car, think like Blues Brothers or something like that, where it starts with this kind of cool model, badass looking stock model, but then we can apply kits to it that really go back to telling your own story. How do you want to modify it? I always say think Fortnite, wacky and fun. And
well, that's the other question. So any future vehicles that come out, are they all going to be customizable?
Yes. Yeah, that's
the purpose of the line.
Yeah, the Chop Shop line is for exactly that. Like, that's why the Bandito is kind of like outlaw radio and stuff. It's a little underground, and you take it in the Chop Shop, you switch it all out, and now you have your badass outlaw vehicle. So yeah, everything customizable. Yeah, Charger for sure. All those old muscle cars. Our engineer is in Hong Kong. He's a brilliant toy designer, brilliant engineer, and he loves working on American muscle cars. So you'll see a lot of that from us once we get the market open to the Bandito.
And yeah, some of our the customization aspects aren't just going to keep it like muscle or street. We're really trying to heavily tap into like the culture, and being here from LA, we want to emphasize like lowriders and our here first. We want to push lowriders and muscle cars, and again, classic culture, Americana muscle cars, and that whole vintage car feel, back from when muscle cars and I guess lowriders are still a thing. So that's definitely something we're trying to pursue. But we're working various possible licensing deals that will help us reach things like that. But cars, customizable, high-end detailed, that's been our mission from the beginning. And
not just cars. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not just cars, vehicles, action vehicles. And then we're expanding the world of the Chop Shop. We're trying to include everything from characters to, now that we've acquired a partnership with Deadly Dioramas, they do a lot of sick, crazy, cool looking diorama stuff. So that's a market we're trying to come into as well. We've had ideas, you can't have a 112 Street Chop Shop garage without I've made one myself. I'm not a professional diorama maker, but would be cool to be able to expand on like diorama stuff and evolve that world and actually
actual possible Chop Shop.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's in the works essentially.
You know what? That's funny you say that. I mocked up, so the purpose of the Bandito is to be highly customizable, right? So I mocked up and I took parts from a Grand National, and I mocked up, I made it fit the body of the Bandito. Maybe I can tease it, but essentially what the purpose was to be able to have this car frame and then you can swap out the bumpers and swap out the grills and put different wheels. I'm not going to say it looks exactly like a Buick, you know what I'm saying? But the Bandito, the way it's modeled, if you put a little spoiler on it and you change the grill and the bumper and the wheels, I mean, it looks like a pretty sick ass ride. So yeah, I mean, we, I guess right now, the sky's the limit. We just need to step one. We're on step one. We're trying to get this Bandito. Once the Bandito happens, and then it's definitely looking like we're getting close to our numbers, and we have these talks with other big name distributors that are definitely in the works. So, we're just trying to make our numbers, spread the word, and ideas are what influence products. So, we're taking ideas and trying to run with them.
And the licensing agreements allow us to offer exclusives to those distributors. It allows us to touch allows us to focus more on collectors that may have certain themes they go for and stuff like that. If you're a metal guy, you may want this one. If you're a pop culture guy, you may want this one. If you're a horror guy, you may want this one. And that's kind of what we got going on in the background with the Bandito. And it's trying to entice those distributors to say, hey, look, pick one. This can be exclusive to you. And so it's a really big deal. We've been talking a lot about David Vonner, and we had him on the show, obviously, but real quick, just like
if you haven't watched that episode, go back and watch it.
Yeah, go back and watch it. And just realize David Vonner is the co-creator of Marvel Legends. I mean, the guy's been working in the toy industry for 30 years.
Plus years, yeah.
He's helped Brutal Realms. He helped Unparalleled with Odious. And, now he's here and he believes in what we're doing. And really, we're trying to create more than just a toy. We want to world build, and we have our comic in the mix, and we'll talk about that in a little bit as well.
I'd like to go back to the licensing thing real quick, and I just wanted to let people watching know that the licensing deals, as far as the Bandito goes, is not going to drive up the price of the base model Bandito.
Right.
I just wanted to make sure that people watching know that.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. What it'll do is you'll anything licensed is more expensive because you're paying the licensor to basically use the property. So if you're a collector,
what I was getting at is that the base model of the Bandito will remain the same.
That's right. And we fought really hard to keep that base price the same. Let me tell you,
it'd be more like a collector series if
that's right.
A licensor. If we get a license deal with brand X and people are like, oh, I want brand X, it's going to be a separate thing.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, no, I mean, part of getting that is so that we can offer more meat on the bones for the licensors, exclusives, a little more for the distributor, but also keep the price down for those real collectors that want the base model that they can customize themselves. But, they will be collector's items, and you'll see what we mean. Like, there's some really cool licenses getting attached to the Bandito right now. And it opens up the doors for us to do other things, with the licenses if they like what we do and everybody's successful.
It's basically like an open, like once you sign a license, they give you the right to use their imagery to use. And then you basically pitch an idea. Say you want to pitch an idea for this product using this license. If they like it, they're going to allow you to, pursue that. And so these licensing deals will and could potentially involve more than vehicles at this point, figures and merch and stuff, whatever we can design. And if they like it and they're gung ho for it, we can put up pre-orders, maybe Kickstarters. But I mean, I'm baffled by the fact that, we're getting the attention of licensees, licensors, or various IPs. We're talking to various IPs that really like what we're doing here, and it's this is something that companies usually experience years down the line, and we're like here on the verge of signing dotted lines, which is, wow.
Action Figure asks, how much are you guys looking for the upgrade kits?
So the upgrade kits will probably all be slightly different because
depending on the parts.
In order to achieve the full set, you may need more for the lowrider than you do for the Mad Max one. but I'm really looking to keep these under $50 if at all possible. You know,
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, we think the car is priced right, even with fluctuations and prices changing and things changing. We still think it's a fair price for the community. We don't need to become millionaires. We just need to get our foot in the door to start making other products and build that stream of revenue to keep going. Eddie and we're all used to eating rice and beans and wearing old clothes. So.
You know, that's one of my favorite meals. But I mean, to kind of address
it's ramen and bologna for the rest of us.
to address that, like the kids, you want to keep them. So you get your base model Bandito 185, right, and then plus tax or whatever. But the kits essentially, you know, depending on the size of the kit, you know, one might be lifted, one might just be wheels and side skirts and a hood. So like Kelly said, between, you know, $35-$50, but, you know, we want to be able to develop the site to be almost like a chop shop, literally sticking the name to the chop shop, where you can come and say you just want to order a pair of rims, or you just want to order this, or you just want to order a different hood. Like, we want to be able to offer just certain parts, like, to customize your vehicle. Like, if you have a vehicle, a Vision, and you don't need the seats, you don't need the bumper, you just want to be able to replace the hood and wheels,
or
like,
you're just looking for background pieces for your
garage, exactly, that you could eventually swap out later. You can, you know, but the kits will be available as kits, and, you know, hopefully once everything gets rolling, as individual pieces as well.
Part of our thinking with the customization too is, if it's too expensive, people are going to be afraid to touch it. And the kits, if we already have the tooling, the kits can be a cost-effective way for us to produce those parts and deliver them to you relatively cheaply and still hopefully make a profit for ourselves. But the Bandito for us is not really about profit. It's about opening the doors to the marketplace, and then opening the wider world of Odd Frog to it. I mean, you know, some people might want to wait.
People's view to us, like, you know, we just want to get out there. Like,
things that happen to the Bandito in the comic book, people may want to do eventually. You know, we're going to provide that. So, yeah, and the figures that come along with the comic book too. So,
well, speaking of the comic book, how's that looking?
Oh, it's almost done as far as the inking. So it'll be a 64-page. It might be 65. I'm putting everything together now, but it's
a dedication page to me. I get it.
Yes, of course. But no, I really think the story's good. I wrote it, so I have to kind of at this point. But it's different and it's interesting, and it's an amalgam of everything people from our generation should recognize a little bit. You know, not too much. I mean, it's pretty radically different, but in the way it's designed is going to be probably familiar to people. I just wanted to make a classic adventure comic book with no preachy BS. Nothing like that. Action, adventure, intrigue, characters, and I also think that, like, customizers are going to love what we're doing with the comic book, because it's just going to be inspiration for what you can do with figures and character creation. And I'm hoping it's a whole fresh approach on new characters. You know, I love Batman. I love Spider-Man, Captain America, but, like, I've seen them all so many times.
I'm sorry. I'm right there with you, man.
I'm just ready for new. You know, I mean, I love that stuff, but I'm also ready for new.
We just got a presentation from Hasbro, and it was like 90% Spider-Man. I was like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The secret live they did.
Did anybody hear the rumor that Elon was thinking about buying Hasbro?
Saw that. I read something about it, but I only saw it that one day, and kind of
that's not real.
So
Space
Action Figure Addict, I will personally say I appreciate you guys keeping the cost down on the Bandito. I'm sure as collectors yourselves, you've seen how expensive 112 vehicles have been going.
Yeah,
at this point, I have to buy my own too, so I appreciate them keeping it low too.
You know? See, that's you know, when we first started in announcing our, you know, the Bandito, teasing and, you know, showing off renders and stuff. It was literally 2.5 years ago before anyone was really into, you know, 112 scale vehicles. And then the Engine of Vengeance dropped, and then other companies started showing their stuff. And then, you know, now it's every, you got the Ecto coming up, and you have cars left and right, and it's all relatively priced around the same, but they are going up, but we're trying to keep our price to what it is, and to get out there and make a name.
We need numbers to be able to do that, guys. So the more you buy, the better we are. And really volume is going to be what keeps the cost down at this point. So, and let me talk about the free pre-order for a little bit too, because that is going to end in the near future.
Is it?
Yeah, we've done that for as long as we can, but we're getting distribution. Right now, Nerdzoic's got it up, for $1 to order. But we're getting to the point where we're getting close enough to production that we're just going to need people to buy the car. And many people have bought the car too. So, it's at this point, we're going to want to be, when we release the new licensing information, the new distribution information, we have a whole press release coming where there's going to be a lot of new information. And, pretty much at that point, we're going to be asking people to secure the order that they made for the free pre-order. We're going to be asking people to secure that because we're going to be going into production and we will need that backing to be able to produce the car. So yeah, just as a heads up, right now it's free to pre-order. So go secure yours. At some point we will be taking that down because
Nerdzoic and Hello.
We're just going to, go to Nerdzoic. We want you to buy it from Nerdzoic. We want you to buy it from Hella Dope Toys. Don't come to us, go to them. We're trying to support our distributors. We want to make toys. We don't want to necessarily sell them. It's a hard job. So, buy it from them. We really appreciate them. Both Hella Dope Toys and Nerdzoic were the first to give us our big break as far as distribution, and we really want to honor those guys. And that's why we want to give them exclusives for their shops and stuff like that too. So, but yeah, we appreciate that. We Eddie and I worked like a week on the price back in the day, just calculating up what it actually takes to get you the car, the tooling, right? The over $100,000 it takes to actually get it made. Then we need to get it on a container. How many pallets do we need for so many cars? We had to calculate that up. Then we got to figure out how much it's going to cost to ship to individual people. So we called up, a package delivery service and got a number on that. And that's what the Bandito number reflects, is literally the cost of getting it done.
But it also, unfortunately, from what I understand, it does not reflect funding the next project.
No, not necessarily.
There's not a lot of profit built into the Bandito price because you just it's like the t-shirts I sell over at the Toymerx Redbubble. I'm just trying to get people to buy them.
That's right, and
I want it to be free. I mean, not free. I want it to be as close to free as possible.
Right. There's virtually no profit in the Bandito for Odd Frog Entertainment in the first initial run. What we're looking at is the evergreen kind of quality of it, where you can continue to customize the car. You can continue to get parts and upgrade. Some people have already purchased 4 just so they can make the different versions of the car. And, that is something that would be cost effective, like I said, to produce. And we can put a fair price on it. And then we can have these kind of, this ongoing thing that serves the collector with the car, that we can start getting a stream of income for the Chop Shop.
Projects. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I don't want to make the whole thing about the Chop Shop.
Yeah.
Well, the Chop Shop's really important right now, though.
It is. But
it's like the first thing. It's like the thing that's gotta
it's the
there
flagship.
first.
It's absolutely the flagship of Odd Frog Entertainment. But I also want to talk about Victims, Deadly Dioramas, and the comic book too, while we still have time.
I wish Dudley was here.
Yeah, I know. He has such a busy schedule. Hopefully he can pop on. He was going to be building a set piece and taking shots while we were on here, which I thought would be a lot of fun. But we'll do that next week, guys, as we push to make this a more regular show too. Like I said, we've been so busy, just like literally Eddie and I designing new things to pitch to licensors and getting the Victims heads all up to par and shipping things. And it's been a whirlwind. It's a really exciting, fun whirlwind, I have to say. But yeah, we've been busy, but we want to get this show more regular, every Sunday a live show, so you guys can ask us stuff and we can still remain, as transparent as possible to the community. Let's lead into victims here. And I think this might be a good segue for the new Myra's Morgue of Midnight Madness old time radio theater show we're going to be doing on our new Bandito radio. And Mikey, if we can play a little teaser for that, we'll roll into victims afterwards.
You want to play the whole thing?
Yeah, just play. It's a minute and a half, so you hear about 20 seconds of the actual radio show at the end, but this is just the forward to it.
Okay.
Good evening, you night dwellers, shadow lovers, and fans of the frightful and bizarre. Welcome to Myra's Morgue of Midnight Madness, where the only thing dreader than the hour is the terror we bring. Tonight, we got a ghastly treat for you. One that sends you chills crawling down your spine, keep you on the edge of your seat. Yes, my little friends, we're about to crack open the dark, twisted world of Frankenstein. The tale of a man who dared to play God, stitching together the remains of the dead to create life, or something much worse. So dim the lights and lock your doors and brace yourself. Tonight, Myra's Morgue is open for business. And we're about to bring you an electric thrill ride through one of the most terrifying stories ever told. Stay close, my darlings. This is Myra's Morgue of Midnight Madness. And now, the story begins.
We now present George Edwards in Frankenstein. The good ship Voyager was held fast in the northern ice pack. The captain and crew were astonished when a stranger came staggering across the ice and asked for shelter.
That's cool.
So that's the one I made before I cleaned up the audio. I enhanced the voice and I reduced the noise, so it should be a little cleaner on the.
So a little bit of cleavage going on there.
A little bit. We're going for that Elvira kind of vibe,
It totally reminds me. I don't know if Eddie, you remember this. I'm sure Deadman, you do, but Up All Night on USA.
There would be more cleavage than that, but yeah.
Yeah, it was Elvira or Rhonda Shear or Gilbert Godfrey that was like hosting just cheesy ass horror movies back in the 90s.
Unfortunately, Gilbert Godfrey would come in and just ruin the whole thing.
I know, but still,
at the age we were when that was coming out, Gilbert Godfrey was not the right guy. It shouldn't have been a guy at all.
You're like, damn it, it's not Rhonda Shear tonight. Up all night.
So is it Myra or Mira?
I think it's Myra. Myra. I don't even know.
I don't know. I thought when I first saw it, I read it in my head as Mira's.
Oh, okay. I kind of like that actually.
I think it's Myra's. I think they say it in there. I don't remember.
So Kelly, tell us a little bit about the radio programs that you're finding.
So yeah, these are public domain, old time radio shows around from the 30s, and they're free use. So it just takes a lot of editing, because they're essentially in these like 15-minute serials each.
And they were on reels.
But I mean, I still find them on YouTube for myself at night just to fall asleep to. And was it Arthur? The broadcast?
Coast to Coast?
No. Well, Art Bell, but I think it was Arthur in here earlier that was Austin. Yes, thank you. That did broadcasting and production. So I used to love like Art Bell and Coast to Coast and stuff like that. So this is going to be like a somewhat cartoony version of real life terrestrial radio, where you get that old school stories. We can use them, so why not? And like I said, it's all to just add to that vibe of the Bandito as if it's coming out of the car stereo itself. Didn't make sense to us to put sound in the vehicle when it's really, we could have put all that into the detail for the toy photography.
Yeah,
but we can provide that atmosphere, Yeah.
Exciting stuff. I think it's cool. I think it's super cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, so I thought that was a good segue to Victims. Victims Heads is an idea that Deadman had, and it's been stressful to get this thing done, to be perfectly honest. There's a lot of
you didn't give yourself enough time at all.
No, next time I'm definitely going to give myself more time. I'm not going to put like dates on it until it's like done. But that being said, thank you, Austin.
So nothing ready for Christmas then?
Christmas we really would have needed to start before, but maybe.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but you see, when you set that date, it makes you accountable. Like you have to get it done by then.
Oh, and I stressed myself out way too much with that when it could have been fun, and it still is. It's just I'm not as practiced with ZBrush as Eddie, and I kind of took last summer to teach myself on YouTube how to do ZBrush. I can sculpt. Eddie can sculpt. We love sculpting. But the digital interface is what you have to learn and what everything does. And so I sculpted the frog. Eddie and I both basically sculpted the frog, but I did like the initial anatomy and stuff like that. And then with the victims' heads, it had to fit on 1/12 scale bodies. And there is not a lot of real estate inside a female 1/12 scale character's head.
No.
And that's no slight against females. I'm just saying, like, man, there was not a lot of space in there to actually make it look good and have a peg adapter that would fit everything. So that was the real trick, is dialing that in, and probably will still continue to develop peg adapters because there's lots of different pegs out there. I just tried to get 3 in a box that could hopefully fit the main.
Do you have any images you can show of the
Deadman? Do you have anything? You want to do the unboxing?
I have them right here.
Let's pull it open.
So got all 5 heads in here, all males' heads. I still haven't gotten the female heads.
No, they're coming. You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to fix the hair, because right now the hair is a little tuft, and I wanted to connect it to the head so it's not as breakable. Yeah, they're hard to see there, guys, and all my pictures of them are at the shop.
Yeah, and I haven't even started the painting process at all. I don't know if I'm gonna. I might just pay someone to do it because I don't really have the time, nor have I ever painted like characters like this. I mean, I can draw and I can build things and I can paint buildings and stuff, but this is different. And this head sculpt was a surprise to me. I like it. It's like a little nervous smile.
Yeah, that was Eddie's.
Because you sent me 4 of them, but I never seen the 5th one until I opened this box.
Yeah. And
well, that's not true, but I mean,
the whole idea is we wanted you to be able to tell a story in a couple of shots, right? So the female goes from like nervous suspicion to sheer horror, and then the guy has a little bit of uncomfortable nervous laughter to like, almost
screaming
anger, and the last
one
screaming.
He's like,
I wish I could show you guys this, but there's detail on the roof of his mouth with the screaming head.
Well, so these are 3D printed. They're high resolution 3D prints with really nice Ceratec resin. So, you don't get the little lines in there. It's very detailed, and it allowed us to do the undercuts of the mouth, which is hard to do in traditional production because you're pulling it out of a mold. Whereas here we're just printing it, so we were able to capture that detail inside the mouth.
Yeah. So I got one of the peg adapters here, little black thing that goes right on the peg, and then the head goes right on it. So,
there it is,
like a glove.
Oh, that took some work. Yeah, what I like about it though is when you turn the head, it stays where it's supposed to, because the somewhat rubber adapter.
Yeah, it does work out pretty well. It could, it gets some pulling away when you go back too far, but that's going to happen with anything. So
sure.
But it came out real good.
I think the scale is on point, and hopefully the other adapters work for Mezco and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, I wish I had some. I can't pull anything apart. It's too cold in this room.
Don't worry about it.
Like this figure right here that I pulled its head off is it's my default Flint, the one that I kill all the time. So I wasn't afraid wouldn't have been afraid to break his peg.
What's up, Skelly?
So.
Well, I'll tell
Skelly,
you,
what's up, my boy?
We had a casualty in the making of it. Scarlett's never going to be the same. I'm afraid to say, and And
Rotator
neither is
ball
Marvel
joint.
Legends Wolverine. They're just
You're gonna have to make a scene out of it. And
that's not a
shoot
bad
it.
idea.
Yeah.
That Marvel Legends Wolverine is not an easy one to get anymore. That's the darker brown one that came on the.
I was gonna say that's
Yeah,
vintage,
you know, I should have
that
taken
came
better
on
care of
that came on
them.
like the first run of the vintage cards, right?
Yeah, my aunt, who's no longer with us, actually got me this, and you know, I took care of them for a long time, but now I'm a toy designer, and things have to be sacrificed for the show must go on.
The toy
Yeah.
guns.
But yeah, these came out great. The packaging is insane. I can't believe you went through this much trouble. And
Yeah.
here, see it says "Victims of Dead Man" on there, and then my favorite part of the whole thing is my Instagram logo.
It's upside down.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
And then it's got the frog logo on there. And I do remember talking to Kelly. We were thinking about putting the Toymerks logo on here, but Toymerks is for everyone, and that's not quite the right thing for this. So if you guys are wondering why that's not there, that's why it's not there.
Yeah. I think this works out better. And, you know, this is just more affirmation to me that the idea that Eddie and I set out to do as far as Odd Frog Entertainment was to bring on other creatives with good ideas, not own their property, but facilitate a way where we're all profitable to make something cool for the community. And, you know, that's what we're doing with Deadly Dioramas. I mean, he's got literally the most explosive dioramas I've seen with his booms.
Do you suffer from explosive diorama?
Dude, there's a Radio Bandito commercial right there.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Oh my God, that's great. But you know, all these things add to toy photography and add to setting up the scene and add to the toy figure collector culture. And yeah, I mean, that's the whole vision we have for it, is expanding storytelling through toy photography.
Yeah.
And and then we also have the comic book, which I've shown some images of and stuff, and I guess I can share some here real quick. Let me see if I can find some. Nothing is on my computer at home right now. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. I can bring up some. I got some.
Kelly, anytime technology is involved.
This is true. This is true.
Or holding
Except for
something
ZBrush, apparently.
Oh, you know what? I remind people of that all the time when I'm bad with technology. I know ZBrush and Rhino. All right. So can you guys see that?
Yep.
So yeah, I'm just going to show random pages, guys. Here, we'll start off with page 1. So
show us some new.
Yeah, this is an old one, but you can see it's kind of, here's the city. It's set about 20 years in the future, so to speak.
Are you gonna bring the picture up, or are you just gonna?
We can only see the thumbnails.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Okay, then one second.
Well, you could have just double clicked on one of them.
Yeah,
I think he has to open.
Yeah, put it.
Opens a new tab. So
where's
he's
the
focused. He's got to share the right tab. Yeah.
All right, is that it?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, so this sets the scene. It's somewhat in the future, so you're gonna have like flying cars. This is not quite done. That's an old one. You know, more futuristic technology, lots of kind of nanotechnology in the story, lots of AI in the story. And I wrote this about 6 years ago, just so you know, I'm not just riffing off the new stuff. It's, you know, kind of been in my head for a while to tell a story like this. But he's essentially a nano engineer who gets infected by his own creation, which is supposed to be this nano serum that's billions and billions of little robots that you inject into yourself, and it repairs your body on a molecular level. So everybody in the future was going to be healthy. But there's this evil AI construct who is part of the building at this corporation who wants to evolve itself. So it puts its own algorithm into this nano serum and to be able to bring itself more into the physical world. And when people take it, or it gets out into the wider world, it starts to transform that entire world, and people that come in contact with it transform into various different things. I mean, it's essentially a more detailed version of the ooze where we can dive into the technology of why it works and stuff like that.
Just that page alone, dude. I mean, there's so much work. I don't even draw that very much, but I just look at
zoom in on it.
How long did that take you? Because
these pages took me, this is probably a 12-hour page between penciling and inking.
Wow. Now, for anyone who's curious, are you going to be adding any color to these, or are you going to keep it black and white?
You know, it's a real tough question because
that's going to take a whole nother year to color it.
Exactly. That's the main issue, is it'll take so long to do it because I'd want to do it right. I have a vision for the color in my head. It's somewhat of a limited palette, and stylistic. So I drew it for black and white. Let's put it that way.
I think the black and white look works fine. I think it being black and white leaves it open for a special color edition, and in the 2 years it'll take you to color it.
Couldn't agree more.
Honestly, when I see this, if I see any color, it's almost like Sin City-esque, where it's
that's exactly what I was saying in my head right now, bro.
Where it's only certain things have color, you know.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful work, dude. Beautiful.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. And I was hoping to show one of Carl the construct, but I'm really trying to keep it close to my vest right now until it's done. Yeah. So that's that. And then of course we're doing the action figure for it, which we've already prototyped, and we've got another one in the works. And yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff going on, guys. We just want to bring more people into the world of Odd Frog Entertainment and expand our world back out into the community. And that's what we've been doing for the last 2.5 years, you know, basically running on empty, but we don't need anything. We don't care. This is what we want to do. This is our life goal, and we will never stop. And
and it's closer than ever, guys. Closer than ever.
Yeah, it's really pretty amazing. We can't be more grateful to have David Vonner on our team. I mean, he just brings such an open. He's so excited to do all the stuff we want to do, and you know, we all riff off each other, and next thing you know, we've got something in our hands that we're holding. So, David, if you're listening, we sure appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
It is a very, very exciting time for Odd Frog Entertainment. I know a lot more than a lot of people, and it's, you know, I do a show every week with Skelly on the Skeleton's Tomb here on YouTube, and it's really hard for me to keep my mouth shut because it's exciting. There's a lot of cool fucking things happening, and it's all like it's all like so close to happening, and I know it, and I just want to be like, keep an eye out.
How do you think we feel, man? I can't. Every day is a drag.
I think I know how you feel, Eddie. I think I know how you feel.
I have to send my mom stuff and be like, look what we're doing, because that's the only way I can
you can show someone.
There's a specific thing that I think is the coolest thing that's come out of all of this that Eddie designed, and I think when people find out that this is what I'm most excited about, they're going to be like, "What, Dead Man? Really?" It's just, it just came out so good. It's super good. Sorry about that.
That's what we call a tease.
Yeah, well, you'll have to tell me what it is, because I don't even know what you're talking about.
Now you know what it is. I don't think I've told you, but I've asked Kelly.
Right, I mean, I'm sure once you say something, but yeah.
I'll say this. It's red
and blue,
and
it's a license.
And it's a weird thing for me to think is the coolest one.
It was the first licensed car
the first one we pitched. Okay.
Yeah.
It's super fucking cool, guys. It's rad.
Interesting. It can develop into a whole line. We were working on something with that. We're like, you know, David Vonner's been talking to this. He's done stuff with this license, like personally. So it's kind of cool that he's in there and he's kind of feeding us back some projects, and you know, our ability to pitch our ideas to them just. You know, it just opens up that door. He's
literally a genius. I mean, the stuff that he realizes will work together, I just would have never assumed. And it's
this
been
guy's
an
the godfather of toys in a way, man.
Yeah, it really is. At least of our generation.
Yeah, at least of this time.
Well, again, if anyone watching hasn't seen that interview, I highly recommend going to the YouTube channel and checking it out. Yeah. I wasn't there on that one, but Dead Man, you were, and you asked some great questions.
Yeah,
and
just look him up too.
Vonner's energy, like I was just sitting there watching. I'm like, this dude's like, he's on it. He's
dude,
like
every meet we have meetings every Monday with him, and every meeting he's just. he lifts everybody. Like, he's just as enthusiastic. He has the right. I mean, he knows what to say. He knows who to talk to, and it just helps evolve your ideas into something you never thought possible. And it's like we're at that doorstep. You know, we're at that step where it's like we're about to go through that door next, and it's
the precipice.
Very, very exciting time for Odd Frog Entertainment.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
And for the toy community and for 1/12 scale photography in general. Like,
it's gonna be interesting. Yeah.
Once this all opens up, like, and the floodgates finally open, like, it's gonna be a great thing for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks,
well,
man.
I think that's a good way to wrap it up, guys. You know, like, stay tuned. Like I said, in the next few weeks, we are going to unload an arsenal of new information, and we could not be more excited to present it to you.
So, Dead Man, thanks for joining us again. And
as always, as a
everyone
new member of the team
who
of Odd
joined
Frog
us,
Entertainment.
Everyone who joined us on the live video, thanks for watching and actually participating. We love the comments, we love the questions.
Interaction is always key.
Yeah, absolutely.
As they used to say here in the Northwest, you people are the 12th man.
That's right. Yeah, Mikey Proof.
It's actually Mikey's shirt that made me think of saying that.
No, but seriously, we do appreciate it, and please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Smash that button, you know.
The like button.
Go check out Odd Frog Entertainment, Nerdzoic, Hella Dope Toys.
Yep.
And look up David Vonner, his credentials, man. It's all happening, guys. It's going to be an interesting 2025.
All right.
Yep. Have a great day, guys, and we'll talk to you all later.
Thank you for tuning in to the Odd Frog Chop Shop podcast. This episode is brought to you by MLCVoice.com and OddFrogEntertainment.com. Theme music is Burlesque Heartache by RKVC. Please remember to rate and subscribe. Until next time, keep creating and keep playing.